Welcome Survivor! We're now in Alpha 19.2 Experimental, and the FunPimps have just released the experimental version for 19.2, and you can see that up in the top right corner it says Alpha 19.2 B3, and again I've enabled this in the settings so you can actually get the latest experimental. If you don't know how to do that, make sure you right click on 7 Days to Die, go to betas and choose the latest experimental in stable build, and it will install whichever version is the released one on the experimental branch. Really simple. Unfortunately, I have some really bad news. Ladies, you guys, even though you were the main feature of Alpha 19.1, the Jiggle update, sorry, 19.2, you don't figure at all. All of you are unfortunately have to be taken out. Sorry, I do apologize, but sorry, that's how the rules go. You know, if you're not part of the update, sorry, you're not. So no Jiggly, unfortunately. But then what do we have in 19.2? Well, I'm going to go through the patch notes. And I do these videos just to give you a heads up what's coming in there, even if you're not on the experimental build, so you can see whether it's something that's going to be interesting for you or whether it's something which is just, meh, you don't really care about. Either way, you'll be informed. And statistics show that 80% of you who are viewing my video actually don't remember to subscribe. Hello, sir, ma'am, you, yes, you. I'm watching you. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's the only thing I ask for. All this is free. It's all for your delight and entertainment. But please give me that subscribe. With thousands of views, if even half of you subscribe and bring me up to that 50% watchers that are subscribed, that would definitely help my channel to grow and give me more opportunities to bring these videos to you, all free. So don't forget, just in the right corner, subscribe. So this update, I'm going to call the SteelSeries update, and this is sort of my very quick approach of making their logo in the game. It's a little bit too square, unfortunately. So let's bring up a proper logo of the SteelSeries. And why am I doing that? Well, let's take a look at the patch note, shall we? So Hated just posted, and he's not really hated, he's a nice guy. He looks kind of cute, don't you think? Oh, that's a cute little doggy. Anyway, 19.2 B3 is coming to experimental. It does mention start a new game or make a backup of your stable save game so nothing gets messed up, because it is experimental, you don't know. And the big thing that is coming in is really the SteelSeries Game Sense feature, and I'm going to go through that in a little bit of what that means, because that's a little bit more complicated than the rest of the patch notes. So hold this on. This is actually kind of cool if you have the SteelSeries hardware that you can actually make use of it. But let's have a look at it. They've done some updates to the performance, etc., which obviously helps, but let's look here. Console command AI path grid, don't think you're going to use it. Console command GFX DTI, don't think you're going to use it. Console command GFX DTPIX, don't think you're going to use it. Trees are set to consistent level of detail, transition values per code. I don't think you're going to see that specifically. Support for the SteelSeries SDK. That's really the big thing. So SteelSeries, nothing else is really added. But let's see, what have they added? Have they changed something that might be worthwhile? Rename console command AI path to, well, that doesn't make any difference. Renaming. Optimize the path grid move buffer copy. I don't know what that means. Maybe some performance issues. Optimize path grid block checks and MISC. I think this got to do with the AI pathfinding of how they build that up. So maybe that'll give us some performance bonuses. Another one, reduce the effect of high and ultra object quality settings. Good. Performance is important. Deleted water depth recorder that reduced FPS a bit. Good. Again, performance, I don't think you're going to see specifically, except maybe performance going up. Updated terrain shaders. I'm assuming that makes it look a little bit prettier. Maybe some performance gains there. But here you have improved terrain shader settings for better performance. Again, FunPimps, that's really good. We need better performance. It would be nice with all these performance changes. What are the performance gains they're seeing? Is it 2%, 5%, 10%? Again, before and after, what are you guys seeing at the FunPimps? Because it's really difficult for us to tell. Another change in the prefab editor to use the same tree level details. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You don't notice that unless you're making prefabs. And our custom speed tree shader to alpha test queue. I have no idea what this means, but I guess it's performance, so it makes it look better. So nothing big changed, just some performance details. And again, would be nice to see some data around that. But let's look at the fixed things. There's some tree rotation things that you probably don't see. Desert terrain normal textures are not set to normals. I don't know what that will make as a difference. Trees trees popping in oddly, that can happen, so that's good. 2 trees not instancing, maybe they weren't actually being shown, so maybe we're going to see more variety in the trees. 8 block entities not instant rendering, again that's good, maybe it was part of that popping instances. You could see under the water plane where the camera was close to it. I guess without that murky water actually being applied. But the only other thing here is the unlit explosives can explode in hand after throwing a lit one. That has been fixed. So something that you saw previously is that you lit one, you threw it, and the next one was automatically lit, and if you just didn't pay attention, it would actually explode as well until you switched away from it, or if you keep throwing it. So that was really bad for players. It caused a lot of problems and a bunch of deaths as well. So I'm glad they actually fixed that. But this is actually beyond the SteelSeries edition. This is the only really worthwhile fix. Performance things are good. I mean, I'm glad they put those in, but without quantifying the differences, if it's 1 or 2%, who cares? This is not exciting. So I would say 19.2, except for the SteelSeries. And again, if you have SteelSeries, I'm not going to go through that in a little bit, what this actually means. If you don't have SteelSeries, it's actually a super boring update. So maybe you want to call it the SteelSeries update, or if you don't have SteelSeries, I would call it the boring update. So let's come back here to what SteelSeries GameSense feature is. So they have enabled, and again, to take a little bit of a step back, I don't know why they're spending time on this as opposed to adding things in the game that people care about, like new content, mid-late content, fix the bandits, fix that junk drone, just give us more content. I mean, FunPimps, I love you guys putting things in, but SteelSeries GameSense is like 1 in 50, 1 in 100 people actually will make use of this, and sorry, it doesn't make sense for the game as a whole. Put in more content, please. I am really begging you. A lot of people are already turning off Alpha 18 because they feel there's no content. So yeah, give us some content, please. I'm begging you. So the SteelSeries GameSense features is basically a way where you tie game events to lightning and things on your mouse or your keyboard. So you tie it to the hardware LED lights that are on the keyboard and the mouse, such as time progression, ammo, health, blood moon warning, visibility, tool, weapon durability, your facing, your bleeding, being hit, and how much money you have. So you can actually tie that in on your keyboard and on your mouse so you can see actual things change. There, I'm not really sure where this also allows you to do things on the monitor, because I know there are GameSense monitors where at the bottom right below the screen there are a bunch of LEDs that you can actually tie to things as well. That would be probably more useful than having on the keyboard, because personally I rarely look down on the keyboard. I'm looking on the screen, so it's a little bit weird to only have it on the keyboard mouse. I mean, how often do you actually look on the mouse when you're playing? Probably not a lot, and if you do, you're probably going to be dead. I mean, you wouldn't be looking at your ammo down on your mouse, because you'd be looking at screen, because that's where everything is happening. But nonetheless, it's a nice feature to have in. And what does this mean in practicality? So let's look here at a video of how it's been tied to ammo, HP, and armor. You can see as the game is being played here, and of course this is not 7 Days to Die, I don't have SteelSeries myself, but you'll see that his health is being reflected, his ammo, his armor, and everything is being reflected as he gets hits. Hit HP, and that's the 1 to 0, goes down. So it's reflected on the keyboard as well when there are game events. And it's the same at the top. As he fires, it goes down. As his armor takes damage, it also goes down. So it's a cool thing to tie that into the LED lights that you have around. What I would personally like to do actually is to have some kind of thing. Let's say you have some other LED lights like behind your screen. There are some other systems out there. I'm not sure whether the GameSense SteelSeries can do that, but let's say you are getting on day 7, it's getting to be, the blood moon hole. You'll see the sky turn red, and then your LED lights that are behind your monitor or something, or even under the monitor, actually start turning red to sort of make your room look reddish and stuff like that. That's the kind of thing that I think would make it cool. I guess you could tie that into your whole LED keyboard so it all glows red and everything. But there are some way to increase this kind of ambience feeling. So if you do have SteelSeries, try it out. Try it out and let me know how it works and how well you think it actually helps your gaming, whether the feeling or your sense of immersion. I would love to hear it. I don't have it. Maybe I'll consider buying it in the future. We'll see. But this is really the main feature of 19.2. I don't think it's enough. I think as far as an experimental version 19.2, I think it's woefully inadequate, and I think that they really need to step up their game and give us more content. Give us something more that makes Alpha 19 an even better version than it is, something that keeps us hooked into it, because a lot of people, I believe, are shifting out of the vanilla or shifting out of the game entirely if they don't feel like playing some, let's say, Darkness Fall or War of the Walkers. Vanilla is getting a little bit dull because there's just not enough content to keep us entertained. But that's my view. What do you think? Well, let me know in the comment section below. And again, if you're just viewing this and you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate just hitting that subscribe button. And I'll catch you again next time, maybe tomorrow.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.